Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here, and today I thought I'd show you how you can use structure blocks to copy buildings and structures within Minecraft. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little house that I built here. And say I want a bunch of these, or say this is a piece of something larger that I want to replicate. Say I want to make a building made up of modules like this. I can actually copy it using something called a structure block, and it's really pretty cool. You can also move them to other worlds, like you say you build a building or even an entire area you can copy and move it to a different world. That's a different video because that's a little more complex, but it's the same thing to copy the structure. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we need a structure block, which I've got right here. Now the way you get a structure block is you've got to use the give command, and so we're going to go at S for ourselves because we're going to give it to ourselves, and we're going to go structure underscore block. If we go like that, it will give us a structure block. Now I already had one here, so it gave me another one, but this is a structure block right here. And so then we need to set down the structure block, and we need to set it down on the corner of what we want to copy. So I'm going to set it down here, and you'll see there's this wireframe that's formed. Now this is the default size, and you can see it doesn't cover the entire structure that I want to copy, but I can move it so that it does copy the entire structure. And all I have to do is go over here to the structure block and right click on it, and we can actually rotate, and you can see this one wall is missing right here. So we need to make this a little bit wider, and this is a blue axis, which is the Z axis. So I'm going to just add one. We just need to add one block to it on that side and hit enter. And when you spin it around, you see the full walls there. Now we're missing the top as well because it's a little bit taller than our default block, which is a 5 by 5 by 5. So I'm going to go here, and I think it's going to be 7. Oh, that was the wrong one. 5. You can actually look to see the color of the axis. It's actually the green axis or the Y axis. So let's hit 7 there, and that gets the full thing. I think you can actually go up to 64 by 64 by 64 blocks, so you can take a huge chunk of not only just a building but terrain, anything, any blocks within the cube that you move the block around. All you have to do is place it so that it's in the corner of the area that you want, and then enlarge the area as we just did right here. Alright, so if we go back out real quick, you'll see the block size has increased, and it's covered the entire building. So the next thing we want to do is we want to save it. So we're going to right click on this again. So you have different modes up here. You have a save mode, a load mode, and a 3D export mode. So with the 3D export mode, you can export it to a file as a 3D object file. The load is to load anything that you saved, and the save is to save it. So we need to save it first. And if we go down here to redstone save mode, we can save it just in the memory, which will kind of be a temporary thing. Like if you don't really want to save it to the world, you usually generally want to save it to disk though, which will actually save it to your world. So you'll always be able to reference it from that world. The other thing you can do, you can export it. So I'm going to name this simple house, and I'm going to make it all one word. And so if we click it there, it actually creates my structure colon simple house, but you only need to remember the simple house part. You can also, so you can save this to disk, but you can also export it. And if you export it, it will ask you for a file name with an MC structure ending. You probably want to do both, and you'll need to save this to a place, to a folder that you'll remember, or save it to your desktop and move it to a place and save it. So I'm going to export it too, because later we can take the export and there's a way to actually move the entire house to a different world. I'll show you in a video how to move it to the separate world, but if you just remember to save it to, or to export it and to save it. So if we save it, that's all we need to do to copy it around to the world that we're in right now. So if we go back out, we've now saved this. Now we can make replicas of this. And so if I want to put another house right here, I'm going to put a new structure block down here. And I'm going to right click on this. And I'm going to go load. And now I just need to remember the name, which is simple house. If I hit enter, it finds it because it's saved already to this world. And now we just have to hit this load right here, and you see if it's loaded it right there. And if we go back, there's the building right there, so we've copied it. We can do this as many times as we like. So I can go here again. You need to remember to put the load. And we've got another one right here. So now because we've actually saved it to this world, we can make an infinite number of these in this world. We've also exported it to an external file, which we can add to a behavior pack and import to other worlds. And I'll do another video on how to create a behavior pack, import a structure, and then move it to another world. So this is a very useful command, particularly if you're into building worlds and you spend a lot of time building a structure and you want to use it in another world, or you want to just copy it, or you're making a huge city or a huge structure that is made up of a bunch of blocks. So you can actually kind of make a modular thing where you make different parts of the building that you may want to replicate, and you can just move them around and add them. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters. And whatever you do, enjoy playing Minecraft, enjoy the day, and I'll see you soon.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.